just like those students at Bath University. We'll talk more about them and the school that's banned fish on the way this afternoon as well. But before all of that, stars of speedways, Swindon Robins, are going to be permanently remembered with streets named after them. Lee Richardson, Bob Kilby, Malcolm Holloway, all set to have roads named in their honour in a new development around the Abbey Stadium. Robins' boss is Alan Rossiter.
It's a great thing, I think, for the boys to be recognised. You know, they gave a lot to the club. And obviously with the new stadium going up, you know, it'd be nice to, you know, see their names in a thing. I'm sure that their families will be very proud of it.
So the club's all for it. Let's talk to Bob Kilby's son, Lee, who is on the blower. Hello, Lee.
Hi, Lee.
Oh, just talking about those sounds that would soothe you. I suppose the revving of a motorbike engine might do it for you, having been brought up in the that sort of environment, I suppose. And now a chance for some of those old heroes, your dad, for example, to be remembered. It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a marvellous gesture from the council to do it. I mean, it was always we kind of a few of us were jokingly talking about this when they said they were going to redevelop the stadium, but I don't think any of us ever thought that it would actually.
Few decent corners in it, really, don't you? A long straight road isn't much good to your average speedway rider.
No, it's got to be left turn only as well. It's got to be a one way system for sure. But it's such a nice thing that they're doing. I mean, it shows us that Speedway is recognised in the town by the council, which is really important. Obviously, we're going to get the new stadium, which from a supporter's point of view, which I am, is terrific. And we don't really know how they came to choose Dad, Malcolm and Lee, because there are so many riders and people that have worked for Swindon Speedway that are no longer with us, that we're all more than worthy of a street named after them. But I'm sure I can speak on behalf of Richard and Ashley Holloway and Emma Richardson, and my family, my mum and my sister. Obviously, it's just a lovely thing, and to see Dad's name there and Malcolm's and Lee's would just be a lovely thing to see. It really will.
Yeah, of course it will. For people who perhaps have a fondness for Speedway but haven't followed the Robins all that closely, or for people elsewhere in the county who don't know so much about it, talk to me a bit about your dad's association with the Robins.
Well, yeah, I mean, all three of them, I think, are the council have chosen three people that are there, and they've all had poignant parts of Swindon Speedway. I mean, Dad rode for 19 years, and for the majority of those years, he rode for the Robins. During the 60s and the 70s, and then very early in the 80s. I mean, he won the league with them in 1967. And he's a born and bred Swindonian. You know, he lived there all his life, as is Malcolm Holloway. Malcolm was born in Swindon and lived in Swindon. Was a pub landlord in Swindon after he finished racing. Malcolm managed the team. So they're really people that are really at the heart of the club. And then I think Lee Richardson, who is the youngest of the three, Lee rode very recently in 2005 to 2007, I think it was, for Swindon. Lee actually died in a track accident, which is slightly different to Dad and Malcolm. But Lee won honours while he was with Swindon. He was established while he was there, and all three of them were just those kind of people that had time for the supporters, never an issue signing autographs, having photos taken, and all three of them, you don't really hear any bad word on all three of them, really. So they are part and parcel of what Swindon Speedway was and is about, really.
Yeah, I mean, each of them a legend. I don't know, would your dad have been the sort to blush? You know, what would he have made of a road being named after him?
I don't think Dad would have blushed. You know, it's one of those things. I think Dad would have, deep down, he would have absolutely loved it. We're very lucky to have the Bob Kilby Memorial meeting at Swindon every season, which is a splendid affair for all of us. But to have his own, I don't really know how he'd feel about it, if I'm honest. But from my mum and my sister and myself, we're delighted that he's been honoured in this way. We really are.
Yeah, and nice as well that it's a part of and will be synonymous with this move, which is really important, really, to the Robins, isn't it? Because all of this boils down to money at the end of the day, and the club needs to make money to continue.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, Speedway's changed so much over the years. It really has. But at the heart of it is still exactly the same thing. It's four guys on bikes risking their lives to earn a living, to entertain people, and it's just such a fantastic sport. And if anybody has never been up to Blunsdon to see it, I mean, it's one of those things that until you actually go and you smell it and you taste it as such, it's got such a nice family feel and a community feel to it. The supporters all mingle together, which you obviously wouldn't get in football or some other sports. It's just a really family orientated kind of sport, and to get the new stadium and for Speedway to continue is so important. It really is. It's massive for the town, and it's great that the council are seeing that, and we're getting the new stadium, and hopefully we can get a few more people up the Abbey every Thursday and get some bigger crowds up there again.
Yeah, thank you, Lee. It's a great story, and it's really nice to talk to you, mate.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me on.
You're welcome, and we'll talk to Roscoe later on in the programme, just before 7 o'clock, in fact, and hear a little bit more about the plans for the Robins going forward. Now, 17 minutes after 4 on BBC Wiltshire.